Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and we're just plain living here a couple of days before the 4th of July.
Good morning, Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
How are you guys?
We're good.
Yeah.
We're red, white, and blue.
I know. I feel bad that I didn't wear red
Well,
instead
that's
of maroon.
that's close.
Well, it matches your.
You don't have to feel bad about anything, Peggy.
That's
All right.
close.
Got a big thing going on tomorrow in Tullahoma.
Yeah,
and I think
Yeah,
I think
it's
Manchester
huge.
has it on
The 4th.
the 4th, and then Winchester. It's all over.
Oh yeah, you
Lots
got
of
it.
celebrations.
Right.
Everywhere. Of
Put
course,
your dogs up.
Yeah,
Dogs hate
they don't like it.
fireworks.
Dogs and old people have,
Yeah.
have a real difficult time with
Well, a lot of
fireworks.
military people, that with PTSD.
Yes, and that's a real
tough.
thing,
It
yes.
kicks off things. Anyway, it's a wonderful thing that the city does for all of us.
Oh yeah, and a couple of things to remind you of. We want you to get through the 4th of July with all your fingers left.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Be very careful. We don't want you to burn anybody else's house down, so when you're shooting stuff up in the air, make sure you're shooting it in a direction that won't land on your neighbor's roof and set
Right.
the house on fire.
Right.
Watch out for dogs.
Yeah.
Which if you have small dogs or any dogs, watch them.
I don't know if it does that to cats or not, but cats have a way
Cats
of.
don't care. The cats just don't care. Be
Cautious.
thoughtful of your neighbors who might be wanting to go to sleep before 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to quit, I think, around 10 o'clock?
It's 10 o'clock, and I think it's 10:30, maybe 11 on actually the 4th of July.
Right.
And but
There are people who are trying to sleep.
yeah, and however, though, and Peggy probably experiences this as well. I live in the city of Tullahoma, but I'm actually in Franklin County. I'm right there
Right.
on the line. So the fireworks go off all night.
All night long.
All night long,
I can get
that's
up
right.
at any time.
We don't
and still see.
partay.
Because in the county,
They don't have those
they don't have
rules.
any rules. So
No.
and if you live close to the edge of the county,
Yeah,
you
you
may
still get
experience
it.
that.
You're going to listen to it, aren't you?
Yeah.
But I can tolerate it. 4th of July means a lot to
Oh,
me.
It
sure.
does. It does.
Sure.
And with that said, you look behind me and you see something that I want to report on. This is a book that I was given for Father's Day by my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law, and it is Songs of America, and it is by John Meacham and Tim McGraw. And John Meacham is the chronicler for presidents. He writes autobiographies with presidents and big name people. And evidently he and Tim live in the same neighborhood, and Tim was walking down the road one day, this is close to right, and said, John, we need to write a song. You write about history, but we need to write a book about the music that goes
Yeah.
along with history, because everything that happens historically, there's usually music
usually
that goes
music.
along with it, like God Bless America and the Star Spangled Banner and all the songs that were written about 9/11
Oh yeah.
and equal rights movements and you name it.
There's usually a
There's
song.
There's songs written about it, and that's what this book is. And Meacham talks about the history, and then McGraw talks about the songs and what they mean and how they got involved. And it is a delightful book. And it talks about the beginning of our country. Of course, it starts with the Revolutionary War, and then goes on through about how where these songs came from, and who wrote them,
Are
and
you
why
getting a
they wrote
percentage
them.
after you sell this book?
No, I just wanted to let everybody know because
No,
of
it's
the
a
4th
wonderful
of
book.
July.
Yeah.
That there's some wonderful information in here about the founding of our nation
That's-
and the music that went along
Yeah.
with it.
Can you name something, say, from the Revolution? Like a song?
Oh, that was
Star Spangled Banner.
Well, right. Oh, well, I guess that's good enough.
But it didn't get a lot of this stuff didn't happen immediately. Some of it happened after the War of 1812.
Right.
There were different wars that took place back in that time. We don't realize that George Washington was the first president of the United States of America after the Constitution and everything had been done. There were 4 or 5 presidents before him, but they weren't presidents of the United States of
United States of
America.
America.
They were presidents of the the Congress or whatever it was in the beginning that was helping this thing to come about.
Right.
So you think it happened, all of it happened just right then, but it took a long time, 6 or 7 years or more, for all of this to come together and be recognized and go through all the rules and regulations that had to be written after the Constitution was written.
Yeah.
That was one piece of paper.
With one piece of paper. And there were people that didn't want to break away from England. This was a big process.
sure.
It was a huge
Oh yeah, yeah. So, but it was I was privileged to be in the play 1776, the musical, a couple of years ago.
I directed the
Peggy
orchestra.
Directed the orchestra, and it was a re-education for me about actually how all that happened, and it shouldn't have happened. The odds of all the obstacles standing in the way of us becoming a free nation were
amazing.
insurmountable.
Right.
But yet it happened. It was destined to happen. And that's why the 4th of July is such a wonderful day to celebrate
Exactly.
the independence of our nation. And it's a pretty cool place to be.
Yeah.
I am so glad that I am in the United States of America.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice that on the 4th of July, one day, we can get rid of all this political rhetoric for one day.
Just for one day, let it go, let it ride.
We all know that we disagree about pretty much
Right.
everything. It's split about halfway.
I don't hate anybody I disagree with. I think it's
either.
wonderful to live
But
in
a
a
lot of
country.
people do.
A lot of people do.
I know, but
You can't have an opinion unless it's my opinion.
Right.
and that's too bad because I think that's what makes us great.
That is what
And
makes us great.
everybody has an opinion and has a right because we live in a country that allows you that great opportunity. to
And
have
I
an
think you're
opinion.
exactly right, and that's really what this was all about, in part.
Exactly.
That people can feel any way they want to. And,
Yeah.
You know. And,
But the thing about it is back in the early days, we didn't have politicians.
right.
We had statesmen who
We had
went
statesmen.
to wherever they met, Philadelphia, Washington, whatever. They did their job and they went back home and plowed a field.
Right.
Or
Oh,
ran
yeah.
a store or something like that. We didn't have a career of being a politician. And
Right.
that's the obstacle. We don't get a whole lot of stuff accomplished.
And the beauty of all those people that were willing to volunteer. To
They
do all that.
volunteered.
They volunteered. That was wonderful.
Right.
And were respected, but yet they fought, and that's what I found out, reacquainted myself with in being involved with that play, is they were statesmen, but there were also politics that went along in that, and people had to give and take for everybody to put their name on that deal.
Right.
And there was a lot of giving and taking going on.
There
We don't
was.
give and take much anymore.
Right.
It's
I
either
find it-
my way or the highway.
I find it amazing. That, of course, Facebook is so popular these days, but I find it amazing that when you see somebody who has a different view politically, that people they get in these arguments.
I get
on
mad
Facebook.
about it.
Oh, it's horrible.
Unfriend somebody.
I know.
I'll never speak to them again
Right, right.
because they don't think the same way I think.
do.
My
Yeah.
goodness.
What is
But
wrong
you
with
know,
that?
isn't it wonderful that three folks like us in a little town like Tullahoma can sit on a television program and talk about this?
Oh, sure.
In a lot of places, you'd get your head cut off for
Oh,
doing
yeah.
this.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so
Well, you know, you got to give us credit. However, we walked around that pretty good, and never really took a political stance
There you
one
go.
way or another.
No,
we did.
and this is I wrote something. I forget when exactly it was, but it amazed me that in this country, it was during an inauguration. This is the only country that that all of the losers get to walk away alive.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of countries, when you lose, you're a dead man.
You're a dead man, yeah.
Right.
Everybody gets to walk away alive in the United States.
You got to be on my side.
Right.
No, we are very blessed.
But we're very. I'll tell you what. I
blessed.
got a couple of things here that I want to read, and one of them I read. Two of them I've read before, but I want to read this again because we are so mean-spirited in this country right now. And we're talking. Oh, by the way, Today, after yesterday, if you use your phone while you're driving, you get a fine.
I know. Everybody
Yeah.
needs to wake up to that.
So,
Yeah,
but it's all-
$50 for the first time.
Yeah.
First and second.
And then it's gonna get
$100
worse, yeah.
$100 for the third offense, and you can actually lose your license if you get more than 3. I think it is, or it's not mandatory. But
I think it's
they
like
can,
3 and you're out.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can actually
Okay,
lose your
couple of things. Don't cuss the calculator while you're eating steak. Some are where they are by the choices others make. Some of us are servers and some of us get served. The labels that we carry are not always deserved, because those who can't depend upon those who can to do the things needed for the survival of man. So be you royalty, legacy, or a suit that's on the take, don't cuss the calculator while you're eating steak.
I like that.
And
At
the
first,
go-
I thought you said calculator, and I was thinking, what is that? But you said calculator.
Calculator. And to go along with that is this, because it fits right in: clipping hedges, stitching seams. A tire gets fixed, a roof gets laid. The sound of hammers sing in the sun. A field is plowed, the harvest done. Thank God for stout folks. Stout folks.
Stout folks.
Don't look down at stout folks. Calculators are stout folk.
Right. And
So-
that brings to mind that we make a lot out of getting a certain kind of education.
Sure.
Go to tech school, learn to do the electricity,
Learn to use your
learn to
hands. Hey, I
plumb,
tell
yeah.
you what, Mom, you want all your babies to go to college? Follow the plumber home and see what kind of car or truck he rides
Yeah.
on, and look at the house he's living
Well, there's
in.
that-
And then send your little one off to get a general business degree.
You know,
Right.
there's actually a shortage of people who do trade
exactly.
work. You know,
They
And,
get paid whatever they
Hey,
want.
sure.
Right. I mean, they're going to come to my house, and whatever they say, I'm going to pay it because I got to have it fixed.
Got to
Right.
have water.
Gotta have
Got
water.
to have electricity.
You don't even want to
Right.
see my water bill this month. Oh my gosh.
Peggy has a pool, by the way, though, folks.
But I also had a leak.
Oh.
And I figured it out. I know what it was, and I thought I turned the water off of the commode in the pool house. Well, it wasn't off. And I just hadn't turned it tight enough or something. Anyway, it's just life. I'm so lucky that I'll
Alive to
probably
do it.
figure some way to pay it.
Hey, folks, we run out of time for this part right here. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be back with today's show. Hope you enjoy it.
The wait is finally over. The all-new redesigned Ford Ranger is back at Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma. Stop and test drive one today at Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma on Highway 55, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays, 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set now Joyce Graham, and she is the owner, or one of the owners, of J&J Berry Farm.
Organic.
Organic. And,
Yes.
and that's one of the unique things about J&J, I believe.
It is.
And explain to our viewers what does it mean when you say organic?
Well, we don't use any toxic poisons or chemicals on any of our berries or even our garden for our personal use. We do not. It just causes people to have allergies and health issues that people don't even realize. And so therefore it's quality food.
I see. Are there alternatives that you can do to keep the bugs away, or do you just deal with it?
No, right now the Japanese beetles are eating up the what small patch of blackberries we have. So, you know, so no, there's not really. You just pray the good Lord, and God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit takes care of so much things that, you know, we can't take the credit for it because He's in control, and we are thankful for what we have and when we have it.
Blackberries, do you still have some blackberries?
Not enough to sell to anybody, probably. I picked first, and I got maybe 2 pints off of it.
Yeah.
But they don't all ripen at the same time like the blueberries. We have about, 5, 6 varieties of blueberries, and they all don't ripen at the same time. So it'd be nice if they would all, each one of them, they're staggered so they, you know, don't all come in at the same time. But eventually they do. So, but it'd be nice if on one bush you could just pick the whole bush and it'd be over with, but that's not it. So you have to keep going back to that same bush over and over again.
How long have you guys had this business, J&J Berry?
Ooh, 20-something years or more.
Right, and how does that work? The public can actually come in to your business.
You call and we take orders, and also there's a section where we allow customers to pick, and so they need to call ahead so that we can schedule them, because if they need so many, we don't want. A lot of people come from Nashville or the surrounding areas, and we want to make sure when they make their trip, and then usually they bring their family with them. Mm-hmm. So it's a family affair that they come, you know. And, you know, we have the restroom available. We have well water that we drink and water with, and so it's available. I just got through putting up probably 27 gallons of blueberries on orders that people wanted froze.
Can you give us your phone number so we can get it on the screen for you?
It's 931-455-6855.
Okay, carry on then.
And you just leave a message. We may not be there to answer, but just leave a message, and we'll call you back usually in the end of the day and later, because we're always out and doing things and taking care of
How many people, who does it?
It's a family affair.
Is it a family affair?
It's a family affair, so yeah. So.
And right now, Philip told me this morning, said you were covered up in blueberries out there.
Yes.
Blueberries are really good for you.
Yes, they are. Very good antioxidants, very good for the brain, so maybe mine's still working. So,
it's working quite well.
At 76 young, it's still working, so I'm thanking the good Lord for that too. So,
absolutely.
And it's if I was in business for money, I probably wouldn't, because it's a service for people. So if I break even, I feel like I'm doing well.
Right.
So.
I would imagine you sort of enjoy doing what you do.
Yeah, it's therapeutic for me to take care of these and to be a service. That's one way I can be to service to people who want good food.
When we say you were covered up with blueberries today, did you pick all those pretty much, your family?
Yeah, we picked, and we have our dining room, our kitchen, and our entrance. It's like a factory, you know. It's a small family deal, and we go through all of our berries that we pick. At one point in time when we pick them really early and they're wet from the dew. Then we roll them in unscented paper towels in our boxes, and so it dries them, and we have fans going to dry them. And so later I thought, well, why not just also roll them when they're dry? So we actually, you know, you're getting the dust off of them, and that's it. And for myself, for eating them, I don't ever wash them because I don't need to, because I know they're not been poisoned. They're basically clean. If there's a little dust on it, it's not hurt. And a lot of people are like me. One of the ladies came and picked up her berries the other day, and she said, I just never wash them. I just take them out of the freezer and eat them like that, you know, and put them in our cereal, and they're great in oatmeal.
Is that what you put these in the freezer? Is that a good way to keep them?
Mm-hmm, it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We don't put them in the refrigerator, because if you put them in the refrigerator and you take them out, they're wet.
I see.
And they deteriorate quickly.
I see.
And so we try, for when filling the orders, you know, people have a choice of whether I go ahead and do these. And what I'm saying, rolling in them, also you take out the ones that are too ripe, the ones that are red, sticks or leaves or something that are in them. So basically we try to have as good a product as available to people.
Do you have other things other than berries, or is that pretty much your staple?
Well, we have at some point in time excess of our garden products we have sold to the public, but our daughter and son have moved into the area, and so with them and their children, we usually don't have a surplus anymore.
Right, okay, I understand how that goes.
So, yeah, so my husband's, yeah.
Okay, and if you'd like to participate in this, if you'd like to stop by there and pick your own berries or whatever,
just call.
Give Joyce a call. The number's on the screen there, 931.
We look forward to helping you out.
931-455-6855. And
Yes, sir.
Speak to Joyce,
Yes,
or
sir.
leave her a message, and she can make that experience happen for you as well.
Right.
Joyce, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
by today.
Glad to be here.
We'll be right back with more living right after this.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Check out the 2019 fully loaded V6 Kia Sorento, up to $6,400 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
You know, we've been very fortunate in Tullahoma throughout the years to have a lot of great performances come to town, and we have our National Guard Orchestra has been here several times. Last year, we were fortunate enough to have the United States Navy Band at Tullahoma High School playing some patriotic music. We're going to bring you a piece from that performance right now.
Out of the cold winter of 1775, there rose a swirling mist. This formless haze would soon resolve itself into a burgeoning republic, a nation governed by consent of the common citizen and defended by the same. That winter saw the foundation of what would become the greatest maritime force the world has ever known. Every American sailor from then until today represents a vital link in an unbroken chain. A chain forged by the sea. I was among the first to bear the title of American Sailor. I arrived in Boston with nothing more than the clothes on my back, the skill in my hands, and the desire to serve. My shipmates and I wore mismatched uniforms and sailed a makeshift fleet, but we struck a mighty blow against the vaunted British Navy, helping to win our independence and ensure the promise of liberty for generations to come. The intervening centuries have seen sailors of every race, color, religion, and creed, united in the same fighting spirit, pulling on the same lines. We are aviators, doctors, engineers. We are parents, spouses, and teachers. I was a medic who saved hundreds of lives. A cook who showed uncommon valor under unrelenting enemy fire. And a codebreaker who helped to turn the tide of a world war. I have plied the ocean's depths, and I have been flung into the exhilarating vastness of space. I was a young fighter pilot who volunteered to defend my country in her most desperate hour, and then dedicated my life to her service. The individual challenges we overcome every day add up to a force far greater than the sum of its parts. We each serve in our different capacities, but all serve one goal: the defense and preservation of our nation and the values it represents throughout the world. The chain, forged those many years ago, is stronger than ever, each link gleaming brightly, illuminating the lessons of our storied past and lighting our way into an unknown future. In times of peace and war, we have stood firm and unwavering, resisting every foe and defending every ally. When called upon by our nation, we have always risen to the challenge. I am an American sailor.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Mate. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterware.
Yes, Roosterware is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterware specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with a material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterware.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com
to find our handcrafted designs for
the cock of the walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I'm John Rickman, and this is Pat Welch, and we're here for the 17th edition of Conversations with John and Pat. If we miss one or two along the way, Pat, maybe no one will notice. If we get that out of order, if we get the number wrong.
Oh, these things
17 is correct.
They'll be archived and it'd be incredible.
I'm going to do one about our family reunions. When I was a kid, we'd drive out Iggleville Road out of Chapel Hill out to my grandfather and grandmother's house, and this is what we'd do. We'd have family get-togethers back when I was just a lad. We would finish milking early, then dress in the best we had. After Mama fried the chicken and our hair was brushed and combed, we'd all load up in the truck and off to Granny's we would go. In Granny's house, a little kid had hardly room to stand. Folks laughing loud and hugging, slapping backs and shaking hands. So I'd sneak off with the cousins till it's time to say the grace. Uncle Ike would give the blessing, then us kids would take our place. We sat at the second table eating chicken necks and wings, a leftover dab of gravy juice and fat back from the beans. Fresh peach cobbler without peaches, melted ice cream from the churn. Wasn't very much to choose from once some grown-ups had their turn. I sat at a folding table on a black piano stool. I could hear them grown-ups talking way off in another room. All the ladies swapping gossip between each bite and happy sigh. Grandpa Lil would tell a joke and they'd all laugh until they cried. Old Lane Myrtle kept complaining about the new shoes on her feet. All the men kept on bragging about the good things they had to eat. How their plates all needed sideboards 'cause food was piled so high. I just sat back in my corner wishing for a breast or a thigh. We sat at the second table eating chicken necks and wings, a leftover dab of gravy juice and fat back from the beans. Fresh peach cobbler without peaches, melted ice cream from the churn. Wasn't very much to choose from once them grown-ups had their turn.
John, that was. But I'm gonna tell you something. It sounded like you're in the lyrics. You're disappointed you didn't have any peaches, but you put the ice cream on that.
You know that
cobbler. Woo, man, that's as good as it gets.
You know,
that crust.
Today there's no limit of KFC chicken. You know, you have chicken business all in Tullahoma, and you can go to Kroger, Walmart, and buy all the many pieces that you want and fry them. But back that time, you didn't want to wipe out your whole flock, you know, so you'd only make so much chicken. You know, you wanted to keep some for another day, and so that's why it sometimes was in limited supply, and the kids didn't get the best pieces.
Well, John, where are we going today?
I want to tell you one, Pat. Jim Van Cleve, you know Jim Van Cleve. I want to tell
Chapel Hill roots?
Yes, Chapel Hill roots. We're like the Irish. We came to Tullahoma in the droves, you know, but
when times were hard, you came to the promised land.
Yeah, and people didn't really like us when we came, but we, you know, have been accepted now. But anyway, Jim Van Cleve said when he was in Chapel Hill at about a 5th grade or something like that, he said he just loved to sing all the time. He sang at the barn, he sang by the creek, and he had a farm, you know, he raised on the farm. And then one day, he was in school at Forest Middle School or elementary school.
John, at that time, there was only one Forest school.
That's probably, yeah, that's right. Well, he was in about the 5th grade, and there was a high school girl that took over the class when the teacher was absent. So she says, I'm going to have fun with y'all today. We're going to have a singing contest. We're going to have I want you to sing. We're going to put you up in front of the class and let you each sing. And if you're good at singing, you will be a redbird. And if you are not so good at singing, you'll be a bluebird. And if you're no good at all, then you'll be a yellowbird, and you just have to go back to your seat. And Jim couldn't wait for his turn, so he got up there, and this one sang and that one sang. When he got up, this lady said, "Okay, you're a yellowbird, now go sit down and shut up." I guess he never sang after that. You know, that finished him up. And Jim is over 90 years of age right now.
Yeah, I've seen him recently. He's in awful good shape.
Right, right.
Now, where are we going, John?
Well, Mr. Robert.
We could do that. All right. I think John's wanting me to tell some Robert Ratcliffe stories, and I've got several of those.
We won't have time for all,
no,
Pat.
No, we'll just start on one and wait for the production crew to tell us to get to quit. And Robert Ratcliffe married the oldest Harton daughter, Alice, and he and his brother came to Tullahoma, I believe, in the 30s from Selma, Alabama, and somehow his father felt like they would do better in school here. So they sent both of them up here, and Robert eventually married Alice after he was in the service in World War II, and had 3 fine daughters, and a great, great man. And in the Harton tradition, they did a tremendous amount for Tullahoma. There's no question about that. Mr. Harton had helped use political favors with Congress and so forth to help get AEDC here. The family donated the land that Harton Hospital's on, and Mr. Harton's slogan that was on the old Harton Arcade about where everybody boosts and opportunity knocks. He believed that, and the family believed it. Though most of the family members watched their spending habits pretty good, and Robert was probably the kingpin of that. And even though he would share and buy things for Alice and his children, so he was pretty adverse to spending on himself. And what a character he was. First, I think I'll tell the golf one, because when I first came to Tullahoma to work at the Builder Supply, my day off was a Tuesday, and so on Tuesday afternoon I'd go to the golf course, and one day was about 25. Mr. Ratcliffe and Mr. Bob Alford, who was pharmacist in town, they asked me to play with them, and I was just absolutely just thrilled to death. And it was like I was playing with two of the apostles or something. And I called them Mr. Alford and Mr. Ratcliffe. I wouldn't call them by first name if you'd given me a tremendous sum of money, but they were having a big time. And on the second hole, Robert hooked the ball out of bounds, and we went out in the bushes and the woods, and we looked, and we looked, and we looked. And at that, about halfway through the look, I had probably invested more time in looking for that golf ball than any of the ball I ever looked for. And I finally got Mr. Alford away from him a little bit. I said, Mr. Alford, I cannot believe we're still looking for Robert's or Mr. Ratcliffe's golf ball. And he said, Pat, we hadn't been looking for Robert's ball in about 5 minutes. And I said, well, what are we still doing out here? He said, we're looking for better ones now. So that we just got to sign John.
We're going to have to tell more of those stories, though, about Robert.
Robert was
plenty of them.
Great fella. And that does it for the 17th edition, John. Though it doesn't end the stories, we've got plenty more to come, if P-Head will allow us to do so. Thank you.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You're going to be so glad you hung around for this event. We have on the set Beth Thames from Tullahoma Art Center and Pat Raleigh, who is here with her beautiful quilt.
Thank you.
And you're fixing to do an exhibit, aren't you?
I am.
When is it?
The exhibit opens on July 13th, Saturday. The reception is from 2 to 5 p.m.
Is that Saturday or Sunday?
It's Saturday.
It's Saturday.
It is a Saturday, yeah. That's a Saturday.
2 to 5.
Yes,
and you always have lots of good things to eat and drink, right?
We do. We do. And then the show will run till the end of July.
That's wonderful.
The last weekend in July.
I love this. I just want people to see that. I think that is absolutely a work of art. How many pieces have you got exhibiting?
There will be over 20 of my art quilts. I do a lot of traditional quilting, but this particular exhibit is going to be all my art quilts. Which is really the same process as quilting, except rather than using traditional patterns, the quilts are all an image, and there's this quilt, for example, was actually painted first on whole cloth with dyes, and then there's a little bit of commercial fabric on there, and then it's quilted, and then it'll be hung.
So these pieces, these are different pieces, is that correct?
Well, initially all the flowers were painted. They were painted on, and then I came back and added a little bit of commercial fabric just to highlight places.
With the fact that you match it up in such a beautiful way.
Thank you.
I love it. I think
you.
that is fabulous.
Thank you.
How long did it take you to do that?
Oh my gosh, I get asked that all the time, and you know, it's hard to say. I have to guess because I don't have the luxury of
keeping a time. You don't have time to tell the time sheet.
I do. Well, I'm not able to always do it nonstop.
Exactly.
Where you have to stop. But I would say my art quilts probably easily have between 80 and 100 hours in them.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no doubt about it.
The concept, the design, getting it on the fabric.
Beth, do you do quilts?
I do not.
Nor do I. But I appreciate so much the value and the love and compassion, I think. You have a passion for what you're doing, don't you?
I do.
I can tell.
Do. Thank you. Thank you.
And you really got to go to see it, I think, to believe it. Mm-hmm. So are they hanging on the walls?
They'll all be hung. Yes, everything is hung.
And do you have some for sale?
I do not. I have a few of the smaller art quilts that will be for sale. But I also have quite a few more traditional quilts, although they tend to be a little more modern than some of the older patterns people are used to. But these are like lap quilts or throw quilts, the ones you put on the couch while you're, cozying up and watching TV. I'll have quite a few there for sale.
I am telling you that every quilt that is in my house has such value to me. I could never part with them. Mine were done by grandparents.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I thought it was interesting. My grandmother on my mother's side, she did artsy quilts, and they were absolutely beautiful. But on my father's side, she did quilts for comfort, which was a little bit different back in the day, a long time ago.
Comfort.
Quilts for comfort.
I'm going to steal that from you.
Yeah, but anyway, I appreciate all of the quilts. During this exhibit, you all will be open and you sell art pieces all the time, and I think you have art pieces on the wall, paintings,
we
and then
do.
you have crafty things that have been made that are always beautiful.
Right. We actually have a members gift gallery. It's the downstairs area that's like a gift shop.
Right.
We've tried to elevate that this year, so we've changed the name to a members gift gallery.
I like it.
It's a juried process. We have an anonymous jury.
That's why I like it so much, because when you get something, you know that it's hand done and it's a very special piece that you're getting. Yeah, it's not just a corncob
there's
doll.
lots to look at.
Right.
This fall, we are starting the Young Artist Gallery as well.
I read that. What all is that going to be?
It's a partnership with the Tullahoma City School System.
That's fabulous.
So we're going to be doing a rotating exhibit each month. Each school's going to get to have a group that exhibits each month.
I love that.
And it'll be downstairs.
Because often you have such talent in the schools, but then that's the end of it, and they don't get to show it somewhere else.
And it's good for the children to learn how to display their work and be a face that goes along with
and to
their
understand,
art.
at least in my understanding, that art is what is beautiful for you doesn't have to be beautiful for everybody else. If it makes you feel good and you're doing what you like.
I love that.
Do y'all have a lot of classes for children in the
Children's
summer?
classes are the bulk of what we're doing right now. In July, we have a kaleidoscope class on the 21st, and then Pat here has a workshop for children next week. It's a camp for the entire
sewing
week.
camp.
Oh, good for you.
Yes.
You know, people need to think about that.
Right.
I mean, you sew for stuff like this, but you can also sew a hem in your pants when you get too short.
Right.
Exactly.
That's great.
Well, Pat's an incredible instructor, so these kids are going to walk away not only with finished pieces, but also with skills that they can use later on, like you're talking about.
Exactly. Do they do that in schools anymore? Do they teach home ec?
Maybe in high school.
You know, I
I'm
wonder.
not sure.
Yeah, I don't know if home ec is still around.
I think
it's still
whenever
around.
I was in school in the late 90s,
and did they still have it?
Home ec, and they learned, but I didn't take it. I I think I did cosmetology instead.
You know, I think we probably could touch on people that they have a lot of insecurities or they have anxiety. If they learn to do something with their hands,
Absolutely.
Be it painting or sewing and putting together something beautiful, there's great therapy in that, and it's so much better than a pill.
And Ashley Brinkley is an instructor that has just this last week kicked off her series. It's therapy, and the last class she named Beauty from Ashes. So it's meant to be therapeutic and a safe place that people can come and, you know, release their emotions through their art and
That's wonderful.
have that therapeutic experience.
I think we must never forget how important the arts are, be it visual, be it live entertainment, whatever. It's all important. And we're so blessed to have you in this community.
Well,
are you loving your job?
Yes.
You're doing a great job there.
Thank you.
And do you want to mention the project coming up with the painting?
Oh, yes, we just got a grant from the Tennessee Arts Commission. Thank you to the Tennessee Arts Commission. Again, we can't thank you enough. But we received $6,100 to paint a mural on the Art Center. But the important thing that I really want the community to remember is that we are not just throwing a mural up on the old historic building. Part of the reason why I got involved at the Art Center was whenever my husband and I moved back to Tullahoma, I noticed that the old Baylett house looked like it needed some help.
It did.
So I got involved. My progression has been really fast. I started as a volunteer, got moved onto the board thanks to the amazing Pat Raleigh here.
I recruited her.
She
move.
did.
Smart
she
move.
did. And then from there, I've just moved up in progression. And recently, the water issues that we're having have been discovered that it's been discovered that the shutters on the walls are part of that problem on the exterior because of the holes. So we're going to take those down. We're filling in holes. There's a 15-year paint that we can use. There's also a newer paint that's like what they put on truck beds for protection.
Wonderful.
That goes on this old brick, and we're going to be preserving the building and cleaning all of that out and fix it all up before we paint the mural. So this is part of the preservation process. This is not just use the building as a canvas and go wild. We are really trying to make sure.
Do you know yet what the canvas will be?
We don't. Tara is who's going to paint it. She's who did the Magnolia flag in Manchester, which is amazing. If you haven't been there, go take your picture in front of it. It's amazing. Yeah. But she's working on some composites, and we're going to go from there.
So you'll go from there and have probably a group to look at it and decide what is best. We are so blessed to have you. Let's go back to your quilts for just a minute. I don't know how much more time I have because somebody's taking the numbers off. So anyway, okay. I want to turn this over. Do you mind?
Oh, no, not at all.
Take
It's the back
one last
side.
look at this side. And then, you know, you wake up one morning and you think, hey, I just want to tone it down a little bit. I think that's beautiful too, and that's the back side.
Right, and if up close you can actually see the stitching a little bit. Yeah.
It
So you
sort
have
of
the
amazes
silhouette.
me that
Yep.
the stitching is so precise.
Oh, thank you.
You know, back in the old days, they were in straight lines, I guess.
Well, that's because they did it all by hand.
They did, yeah, but still,
Yes.
this is very artistic stitching.
Thank you.
And does that take a special machine?
Yes, I do. I have an actual, it's called a long arm, and it's large, and it helps me be able to really move the larger pieces
In the
of
area
fabric.
where you
Yes,
want to get.
Yes.
So, you can still thread a needle. I think we have to go. I knew it was about time.
Okay.
I just love
great.
having you here, and I love what
We
you
can
do.
talk all day.
Thank you, Beth.
All right,
Thank you, Pat.
so much. Thank you.
We'll do it again.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
All you wonderful viewers of TV Land, and thank you, camera gentlemen, for putting a good, sharp, clear, contrasting, colorful picture on the screen. Last week we touched on the drive-in cafes and restaurants around town, and I've had several people to come to us and say, hey, I remember Old Moon's Drive-In and Twin Oaks that you mentioned, and some others. Well, I thought I'd step it up a little bit and give you some information, as I recall, about some other eateries here in Tullahoma. If you'll remember the old King Hotel that was established in the teens or early 20s, and they had a big, big dining room on the first floor, and the kitchen was at the center of the back part of the King Hotel, and they had wonderful meals. I know it's, my friend George Book, better known as Fatty Book, was the clerk there, desk clerk at the King Hotel, and he loves to eat. I don't know how many times a day he ate, but there were several times, and the King Hotel was real popular. The menu was extended and was really great, and usually on a Saturday afternoon or evening or a Sunday afternoon or evening, they had an orchestra that played there at the King Hotel in the dining room, and you could enjoy the music or you could dance in there. I think they were called the Purple Dons, and they have vocalists there, G.C. King Jr. sang, and they had a great time. And of course, sad to say, that hotel was raised in 1968, and it no longer is there. But there are other famous eateries here. For example, Mrs. Kersey, who had a bed and breakfast at the corner of 101 South Atlantic Street, and it was a great place to eat. And there are others that were really good bread and breakfast. And now there's so many wonderful places to dine out that sometimes on the weekend I don't think anybody ever cooks or eats at home, but there are wonderful restaurants and cafes and places where you can drive up. For example, the seafood places and they're not the only ones, but they specialize in seafood, like Captain D's and the Red Lobster. They're one place on North Jackson Street, and there are others that are plentiful on North Jackson Street. For example, Western Sizzler on next door to the credit union there, and they have now where they have specials for seniors and have breakfast that are real good there. And Ruby Tuesdays and Applebee's and Kentucky Fried Chicken. And you know what they specialize in, but it's always good. And many of them have buffets and salad bars. Ponderosa and Anthony's on Maple Street and Emil's on East Lincoln Street. And there's so many wonderful places to dine out. And the Downtown Cafe and Butler's Pantry and many. And everybody ought to try one of each so they can decide which one is their specialty. And we would like to remind you that we've run out of time, but this is not the end of the story because there's a whole lot more to come. I hope you'll be with us and watch this next week. Thank you and have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fixes you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
All right, folks, we're back, and I'm glad to have Todd and Susan here with me today. And they're going to tell us about a workshop, fun time at their church in Manchester. And Todd, welcome back. Last time you were here, you were with Becky Buller, and you were dressed up like a pirate.
Arg!
Yeah,
that was fun.
That was what, last Halloween?
That was actually, it was Halloween Day, I believe it was.
Yeah, y'all came dressed like, and she was a swashbuckler and you were a pirate, and we just had a good time.
It was kind of funny, if I'm going to tell on you a little bit, because you told us to wear costumes, and then we got here and you said, oh, I forgot. I didn't wear mine.
Nah, I just pulled a trick on y'all. I wasn't going to wear a costume anyway.
Well, yeah, my name's Todd Green. I'm the worship pastor at First Baptist Church, Manchester, and we just have so much great stuff going on over there. And occasionally I'll make a really, really good decision, you know. And one of those really, really good decisions, first of all, let me just say this, I asked this woman to marry me 25 years ago.
Yeah, you better say something about her.
So today's our 25th anniversary. But one of the other good decisions I made was I put her in charge of what we have now as a School of the Arts at our church. And it has exploded. You know, we were expecting maybe 25 people to join up, and it's now well over 65.
Good for you.
But I put her in charge. She's an accomplished church.
She was in charge already, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. But I put her in. She's the director of our School of the Arts program, Good. And we've got something really special coming up, and I want her to tell us all about it.
Right. We do. Actually, next week, July 8th through the 12th, we're going to have a music and arts camp. And it's the first time we've tried this. We thought maybe the community would be interested in this. It'll run each day, Monday through Friday, from 9 to 12. It's for 1st through 5th graders.
Oh, wonderful.
And, it's kind of like Vacation Bible School, but it's music.
And art.
Outstanding.
And we're having, I think our emphasis really is on fun. It's on maybe exposing the kids to things they might not get in school or in regular private lessons. This is going to be different classes, and they'll get to choose from. They'll have 2 choices of classes that they can take each day. We have fun things like we've got a class called Crazy Cool Instruments, and they're going to do everything from kazoos to boom whackers to drumming. We've got a class on...
Wait a minute. What's a boom whacker?
Boom whackers. Well, it's actually an instrument. It's they're long tubes or they're short tubes. They're little tubes, and they're pitched. So you can, when you whack them, they make a little pitch.
Okay. All right.
So that's why they're called boom whackers.
All right. I understand. Yeah.
We're going to have an art class.
That's pretty good. Huh? You're a boom whacker.
Yeah,
he's a big boom whacker.
It's kind of like a PVC pipe almost, but much thinner because it resonates.
And we're having an art class. She's going to do some watercolor. We're going to have a class on fiddle, bluegrass fiddle, and how you can write a song about anything. Becky Buller will be teaching those 2 classes.
Oh, great.
We're going to have some.
Love Becky.
We're going to have a class maybe for the younger ones called Princesses and Knights, where I think the teacher's going to actually let them come dress up, and it's all going to be involving music, but in different ways, and art, but maybe some different art techniques that you've never tried before. So it's going to be a fun week. It's very affordable. It's only $60 for the whole week. You get a snack every day.
That cheap babysitting right there.
And a shirt,
they'll get a t-shirt, they'll get a snack every day, and hopefully they'll get an experience that they've maybe never had before with something that involves music or art, but maybe children have never had a chance to experience it that way before.
Well, is there anybody else that I know that's going to be involved with that over there?
Well, yeah, your daughter-in-law, Cynthia Grace, she's going to be teaching for us. And Todd's, there is a class called Worship Guitar that he is willing to teach for us. And and then Becky Buller we mentioned. And then our faculty, we have an amazing faculty at the School of the Arts. These are teachers who... with decades of teaching experience, public school, private lessons. I mean, these teachers, most of them have master's degrees. They're amazing.
Outstanding.
They're amazing teachers. I cannot say enough about my teachers.
Well, let me brag on her. Susan has a master's degree, a bachelor and a master's degree in piano performance. The master's degree was from University of Texas in Austin. So she taught at the Blair School of Music in Vanderbilt, and she's just she is just the most talented musician I know.
Well, all of our faculty are amazing.
You know, that's true. And I know when Jacob and Cindy got married, I didn't realize that, she was concert.
Yes.
I mean, she's
amazing.
She's an amazing musician.
She really is. And she can teach stringed instruments. She also teaches voice. She can teach theory. She can teach piano, and
Yeah,
she's multi-talented.
And we're so fortunate in this area. You know, we talk about the shows. I mean, Becky did a show at your church with the Fairfield Four.
Yeah.
Jamie Harden does shows. Peggy Burton, who's the co-host here. You know, we have a lot of shows at South Jackson, the MAC. It is incredible, the talent pool
For sure.
that
It
there
really
is right around here.
Yes, absolutely.
It's insane.
Yeah,
It is.
and we were
It is.
fortunate there at First
And
Baptist.
here's what we were, you know, our conviction and our heart was, you know, we need to be passing this on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we need to be passing this on to the younger generation. And so that's what led to the School of the Arts at First Baptist Manchester. And so that's kind of where this all birthed. And then the idea of the school, the camp,
Right.
The 1 week long camp came about. And so it's going well. We would just want to serve the community in this way.
Well, you know, and one of the things that Peggy and I mean, I've always said, you know, we nationwide need to protect our small stages. Because that's where these young people get an opportunity to stand up and spread their wings and see if they like being up there or not. And a lot of times churches don't use that opportunity to take the facilities that they have and do something other than preach a sermon there, but allow young people to learn other things about the gifts that God gave them. And that's being on the stage, that's singing a song, that's playing an instrument.
Well, look at all the
sharing the
people.
grace that you have with other people through music.
I mean, look at a lot of the great singers that we, you know, Whitney Houston, and now I've lost all the names, but all the people who say, well, I grew up singing in church.
Oh, most all of them.
Yeah, they got that experience. And that's, you know, I've got a huge conviction that to pass it on to the next generation.
What you're doing is taking it beyond the liturgical part of it.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, you're taking these kids to a place where they can have fun. That's what you said, you want to have fun. What I want you to give us is a phone number where people can call you or get in touch about this if they need to.
They can, yes, I can do several things. Our church website is a good location.
Yes.
It's manchesterfbc.com. FBC, First Baptist Church.
Yes.
We have a form there that if you go there, the form, you can download the registration form for camp. Print it out, throw it in the mail, or drop it by the church. Our church number is 728-2138. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Area code 931.
Call the church. Area code 931.
728-2138.
2138. It's not too late. They can register. I mean, we really encourage people to register ahead of time for this camp so that we can be prepared. But
now,
if somebody,
it's not this weekend.
It's next Monday.
It starts on Monday. So you have all week. So you have they got 5 times to watch this show. Plus it'll be up on Facebook and YouTube and all of that.
Now, are we going to be checking anybody coming in the door?
If they come in the door, we won't turn them away. But we do encourage them to come.
To try
go
to
ahead
do it
and register beforehand.
Got to let you go.
Thank
you
you
very
so
much for
much.
coming to see us. We
Appreciate
appreciate you and know that you're
Thank you.
always welcome.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
You know, Todd gave me a great segue into this a minute ago when he was talking about the decision he made 25 years ago to marry Susan.
Well, that looked like a good decision.
And so this is something I wrote a while back, and it's very poignant for right now, I think. It's called Decisions. Another night of strolling through the darkness, searching for a flicker of light. I passed numerous embers beside the path, each waiting for a breath of life that will allow it to ignite, revealing the illumination waiting within. There are many flowers along the way. Which one should I pick and add to my bouquet? Some are right and some are wrong. Some need more attention than others, but would fit beautifully into the arrangement. 'Tis a puzzlement. As always, procrastination becomes the stagnation of creation. So do something. The future and all of its adventures are waiting for a decision. So breathe, exhale, and take the next step. You might make some wrong choices, but the only bad decision is no decision. Life is a game where almost everyone gets to go to the next level if you play halfway fair. So forward, my friend. Do something instead of nothing and see what's next. The embers will not always stay hot, and the blossom's petals will not last forever. As my friend General Bart Burton reminded me one time, fix the future. The past is, well, it's the past. Understand the command, forward. Thank you, General Burton. Appreciate that.
Thanks for using my son.
So make a decision and do something.
That's true.
You know, if it's wrong, it's wrong.
If it's wrong, it's wrong.
They're going to be wrong ones
I
and
learned
right
that early
ones.
in life. My
Just
father,
do something.
one of the strong things he said to me, learn to make a decision.
Is that alliteration? Procrastination becomes the stagnation of creation. Pretty good, isn't it?
I liked it. I liked it.
Hey, folks, we're going
It's
to
time
go
to
to
go.
the Navy Band right now to end today's show. Have a happy 4th of July. Be safe out there. Come back with all your fingers and all your animals. And be grateful that you live in the United States of America, the freest nation in the world.
Yes.
See you next time.